Hello, everybody! I'm Ramsis. Welcome back to Ramsis Retro Longplays. That's right. We are in for a classic treat for this playthrough. As you can see from this amazing title opening, it's familiar to everybody, especially if you watched our playthrough on Vespors Retro Reviews. It is The Legend of Zelda! That's right! The 1986 classic for the NES. Only we're not going to play it on the NES. We're going to play it on the Game Boy Advance. This is the classic series version of The Legend of Zelda that was released in 2004 for Nintendo Game Boy Advance. And why are we doing that? Well, to be different, because we already played the NES version on Vespors Retro Reviews, and I'd like to show you guys something a little different that's the same. Like when I do playthroughs, I don't like to just be like, oh, whatever. I like to show you different versions, but of the same. This is the same, it's just it's been changed to fit the Game Boy Advance. So the sound's going to be a little different because it's using the chip for the Game Boy Advance. The screen's going to be a little different because it's to fit the shape of the screen for the Game Boy Advance. And hopefully it'll control and play better because it's made for the Game Boy Advance. So yeah, I think we're going to play the improved quote-unquote version or the different version of the original Legend of Zelda. And besides that, it's really the same exact game. So for those that don't know, Nintendo in 2004 was releasing a lot of NES classics because nostalgia was in the early 2000s, and the 80s was already 20 years away. Hard to believe, but yes, 20 years had passed, but not 20 years. 18 years had passed, almost 20 years since we've had this wonderful game on the Nintendo. And Nintendo's like, well, now that we have this wonderful portal system that can handle full color, full graphics, full memory, full loading times, not a Game Boy now, it's not a Game Boy Color, this is the real deal, it's like a portable Super Nintendo, sorta kinda. Let's put our regular NES games on there, fans will love it. Was it the top selling series all the time? No, because, Game Boy Advance had newer, better, greater games, people weren't looking to buy NES games, but I think it was a cool idea that they tried to make what's old new again, and they even changed the date to show that it now says 1986 to 2004 on the screen, as you can see. So, an updated version, but it's the same exact game. So we're not going to get a different experience except of these subtle little things that are different, like the sizes, resolutions, and things like that. And I think it's interesting. Why not play it on a version that maybe not many realized was actually out there? So you can play The Legend of Zelda on the NES, you can play it on all the virtual consoles out there, you can play it on the GameCube, and now you can play it on the Game Boy Advance in 2004 and on. So, yeah, this will be a fun look through. So what are we going to do here? We're not doing the original quest. Please check out our playthrough on The Legend of Zelda on the NES, 1986, on Vespors Retro Reviews, the main channel we are spun off from. Me and Vesper did a full playthrough. It was 9 episodes long. Showed you where all the items were, did a full playthrough, searched everything, got everything. Full, complete playthrough of Legend of Zelda NES. Check it out. Vespors Retro Reviews. Link will be in the description if you want to see more. So we're going to do what was promised at the end of episode number 9. So me, Big Mouth here, Ramses, was like, oh, why don't we do the second quest? And Vesper's like, I want no part of the second quest. You know how hard that is? Alright, so he didn't say it verbatim, but pretty much he wanted no part of it. Vesper. Can't stand a little competition getting a little tough here. So I'm like, alright, fine, I'll do it as a bonus content for everybody. And he's like, good, you do that. And I'm kidding aside, me and him had that planned all along. Yes, the idea was to do the original NES Zelda on Vespors Retro Reviews, and then for me to do whatever version I wanted of the second quest. And here we are, I'm playing the Game Boy Advance. So we're going to do the second quest, full playthrough, here exclusively on Ramsis Retro Longplays, and we're not going to have any Vesper razzing me or poking at how hard this is, because this is a lot harder. They call it the second quest for a reason. This is Legend of Zelda, but on steroids and extreme, and with additions, and it's randomized and all this stuff. It's a very hard version. It's the same game, but different, and you'll see as we play along what that means. So we're not going to give a whole history of The Legend of Zelda again here. The history I gave was really of the Game Boy Advance version, part of the classics NES editions for the Game Boy Advance. I'll show you some of the boxes because that's really the history here. We're going to play Legend of Zelda, but the history of Legend of Zelda we already covered in our Vespors Retro Review version. For this one, I'm going to show you what is the classics. And they actually had other companies that released games for it. It wasn't just Nintendo. They actually had other companies that joined in on this whole classic release NES game. So this is sort of like Virtual Console before it was Virtual Console, because Virtual Console, like on the Wii and the Wii U and all the systems beyond that, you can play all these old games through their systems online market. But there were 12 released for North American markets, alright? So they had 18 in total. Some were Japanese, some were European, but for North American market, we only got 12. For North American market, we got Donkey Kong, Excite Bike, Ice Climber, the original Legend of Zelda, that's what I'm playing now, Super Mario Brothers, Dr. Mario, Metroid, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, Bomberman, Pac-Man, and Xevious, as well as Konami released Castlevania. So there you go. So you got Namco and Hudson Soft also released games as part of the Classics Edition. So the idea was just you can get Nintendo games now on the go on your Game Boy Advance, and they look great. Like I said, they just had to change it where they made it more of a widescreen instead of the 3x4. It became more 16:9, even though Game Boy Advance definitely is not 16:9, but it was more stretched out that way. That was one of the big differences. You can see even here in the screen here, that box is definitely stretched out a little more with the Legend of Zelda title logo there, and you can see they had to add some stuff there. Those are the games that are part of the Classic series, and I think it was a great idea. And believe it or not, after talking about all this, I didn't even own a Game Boy Advance. I owned a DS, though. We're going to get into it. Legend of Zelda Second Quest. So this is going to be harder. What does the Second Quest mean? All the dungeons are in different places now. Not all, actually, because a few are in the same place or a different level numbered. But it's like randomizer mode. If any of you guys ever played Legend of Zelda Randomizer, that's where you have the original Legend of Zelda game on the NES. Everything is totally different. Everything's in all different locations. All the dungeons are totally jumbled up and different. That's pretty much what this is. Except there's some little twist. Besides everything being randomized, the dungeons are a lot harder. The enemies are going to be more numerous and are going to be the more difficult ones showing up earlier. You're going to have walls that you have to push through now, and you don't know where they are. You just have to sort of trial and error it. You have the whistle now becomes a very important item because the whistle now will reveal spots that you didn't know existed in the game. It's not just going to teleport you now. It's going to open up more than just the level that it opened up in the original quest. So now the whistle has to be used all over the world to open up openings, not just in very select places. So that's going to make differences. You have bubbles that can be red and blue, and we'll show you what happens with them, or at least I'll talk. I'm going to try to avoid them, but we'll show you what happens if I do get hit by one, but I'll explain. So the bubbles are different. Enemies do different things. Like you have enemies that are faster, that fire things they didn't fire. So very difficult, very hard. This is for veterans. This is for people that beat the game. And since we did, we are up to this. So it's going to be Legend of Zelda Second Quest, and we're going to do full playthrough here. Thank you for joining us here on Ramsis Retro Longplays, and we're going to get started in a moment. But before we do start, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell if you like what C has something to say. Hopefully you guys do. Check us out on our main channel, Vespors Retro Reviews, where retro's alive and well, and that's not going anywhere anytime soon. See ya there as well, and be sure to watch the first quest there if you haven't seen it yet. But of course, that doesn't mean you can't watch the second quest. It's a totally different but the same game, so you can watch both at the same time if you want to do that. That's fine too. Alright, there's that music. See, it sounds a little different. Alright, so this is the screen you start with. Like I said, nothing's different except the screen is more stretched out. So you can see it's more rectangular than square. That's like the big changes they made to the game. It fits a Game Boy Advance screen rather than a old CRT TV screen. That's right, that's the difference. So we're going to do exactly what we did last time, but you're probably wondering, hey Ramsey, you're playing this on a different system. Don't you have to beat the game again yet? You're right. We're going to have to go all the way through the game again, so I'm going to put it on pause, guys. We'll comment. No, there is a secret that everybody should know. Very simply, how do I get to the second quest? If you use a name for one of these Link characters here, you can get right into the second quest without even being in the game. And I don't feel like this is cheating because we did beat it. Like I said, on Vespors Retro Reviews, we beat the whole entire game. So I showed you I can beat the first quest. So now we beat the first quest. I want to play the second quest. What do? Well, you click on register your name. That's right. And you got to give Link a name that seems very fitting. Now, I'm sure people named this character this and had no idea they were playing the second quest. It had to have happened. I mean, if you have one of those stories, let us know. There has to be someone that named their character after the game itself, and then suddenly they were playing the second quest and did not realize, why is this game so hard? Why are the tips not working? What is going on here? It had to have happened because it's the most obvious name here. So if you type in the name of the game, which is Zelda, which is, of course, the name of the princess, but, you know, the whole series is called the Zelda series. But yes, if you named yourself Zelda, saving, that's another Game Boy Advance thing. You have a sword in your hand now, you see? So that means you are doing the second quest. So all you have to do is name yourself Zelda, and suddenly you are a second quest in this game. And I had to believe people named this character Zelda just because they couldn't think of a name. Like, oh, whatever, they named the series as Zelda, I'm going to name it. It had to happen, but either way, if you're holding a sword, well, you're in the second quest. And that's how you get to the second quest suddenly when you didn't beat the game to do so. Alright, so we're just going to start off. Here we go. Alright, let's go. Let's start everything out. looks like everything's normal here, right? We have just the regular start screen. There's nothing different here. So let's go into the box. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Alright. So this is not the wooden sword, even though everyone wants to call it that because it's brown. It's just a regular old generic sword. The old man still gives it to you. Nothing's different so far. It even shoots the same projectile, even though it sounds weird on the Game Boy Advance. Listen to this. See, it has that little, like, more crackly sound. You know, it's a little bit more projectile sounding in the Game Boy Advance version. Alright, so what are we going to do? Our first mission is to buy stuff. We're not going into the first dungeon without being properly equipped. So we're going to go raise some money. And the best way to do that is take the path east. Go all the way east, and we'll work our way to the shop. And hopefully by that time we'll have money. So if I remember the names of the enemies, I'll tell you. If not, I'll just say, I don't remember. And, you know, you guys will correct us as always, which is fine by us. I'm not one to ever be upset that people correct us, as long as you do it nicely. I will put that preemptive. If you're mean and obnoxious about it, yeah, you probably won't get the credit for it. But if you're very like, oh, by the way, it was actually this, this, and this, and we're like, oh, you're right. We're looking at things from older perspectives, and you're so sure everything's right, but you forget, and you have that Mandela effect where you're like so sure, you don't even have to look this up, I know it, and then sure enough, no. Alright, so of course, let us know if we make mistakes here. I am not against that at all. Alright, so I believe these are Tektites, and you always want to fight Tektites. Tektites are those enemies that always seem to leave stuff behind, alright? So what am I picking up? I'm picking up rupees. That's the currency in the original Legend of Zelda, the rupee. And the display for that is in the top box there. You see where it says number 4? That's the rupee. And you have 255 because the NES was limited in characters, so 255 is as high as it can go. And then you have the key readout. That'll be used in dungeons to open locked doors. And then the bombs. Originally, you can only have 8. You can upgrade that, of course, to higher totals if you buy it. B box is your secondary weapon. We'll talk more about that when we get it. A is your primary weapon, which will always be a sword of some type. And then in the left there, you have that gray box. That's the map grid. So there's a different item in every single one of the boxes. That's why Zelda's great. It's pretty much just a rectangular world. Every single box in that rectangle can be visited, and every square has a different set of possibilities on it, so that's why it's great. And then you have the life meter all the way on the right there. We have 3 hearts, that means 3 life bars, and you want to get more by finding heart containers. Alright, so there you go, that's the readouts. And I'm going to repeat stuff from the first quest in case people haven't seen it, because I realize not everybody watched it, and you don't have to. You do not have to watch our playthrough on Vespors Retro Reviews to enjoy this. The second quest is like the same but different, so it's a totally different adventure. You can just enjoy it, and you'll still enjoy Zelda, no problem, alright? So what was that silver? You're probably wondering. That was 5 rupees, so that's like a $5 bill when you pick up the silver. You always want to pick up those silvers. So far, so good. Let's see. Now, these are levers. Yes, these are the levers. Whoops, we touched by accident. There we go. Now, when you get hit, you lose your sword beam. Again, I'm telling you common sense stuff, but not everybody realizes these things, yeah? We take it for granted. Not everybody realizes everything in Legend of Zelda. So you need full energy to have the sword beam. Very important that you keep that when you can. These are Octoroks. The blue ones take 2 hits with the original sword. Alright, we already got the bomb, so that's good. Now, it's important that you know you cannot have the little shield or a big shield equipped when you're firing. Every time you fire, you lower your shield, alright? So, you see? He has to arch his arm back, and he loses the shield's blocking power. So remember, you can only do one or the other. Block or shoot. You can't do both at the same time. Alright, let's keep going. Now we have a blue Octorok. Very good. Alright, so here's the first shop. And we would have bought something, but since we already have our bombs, we don't need to do that. I'll show you what's in the shop anyway. Here we go. Buy something, will ya? Or it's more like, buy something, will ya? Yeah, there you go. So it would have been 20 bucks for the bombs, but we're not going to buy it. 4 is enough for now. Arrows we are going to need, but we got to find the bow first. We don't know where that is in the second quest. Well, I do, but I'm going to keep that a secret. That's the fun of watching this, so it all plays out as we watch it. And the shield we definitely need, but there is a shop that sells it for cheaper. We'll try to get it there. So there you go. That's what's in the first shop. So speaking of stuff, we need the blue candle. Well, the blue candle is not sold here, but we definitely need it. But we need some more money. So what we're going to do, we're going to go exploring where we'll work our way to the blue candle, and then we will get The blue candle is one of our first items. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, let's go. Alright, so what do? We exit. Let's get away from the water. I'm tired of him shooting at us non-stop. So these are moblins. And again, if I am wrong with some of these things, let us know. I'm not against being corrected. Absolutely not. Alright. Alright, so far nothing we needed there. Let's keep going. Keep going. That takes, how many? 3 for the blue moblins, I believe. Yes. Oh, we got more bombs. We'll take them. Alright, so like I said, we can get 8. We're up to our total of 8 bombs now. And we need money, so I'm not again. Alright, we don't need anything there. Let's go here. I don't think there's anything we really need here, right? Well, we'll see what's in that shop. Maybe it has something cool. Ah, yes. Blue, blue, blue. We definitely want that. Ah, I turned around. Alright, good. Alright, I'm getting used to the controls here, yeah, as you can see. Alright, let's see what's in the shop. Here we go. So there's the blue candle. We do need that, but I don't have 60. So yes, we definitely need this blue candle. Unfortunately, we cannot get it yet. So here we go. Let's get out of here. Keep going. Let's go through here. Is there anything on this screen? No, but there... Oh, yeah, there is. Alright. We got lots of moblin. We want to try to sort of get them from fire... Oh, we want to try to avoid them from firing on us. Whoops. We will survive this, folks. I promise you. And we got a heart for our troubles. Alright. So, we're going to wake up the statues here. Let's go in. And there we go. We found our first secret. It's a secret to everybody. Now, again, we mentioned this in the first one. We don't know why the Moblins are helping us. I think there's like an underground group where the Moblins didn't all agree with Ganon. They didn't want to be controlled by him. So they gave money to Link to hope that he can overthrow him. And I think that's what the storyline is. There's no, like, I think there's an official thing that says that. But why else would a Moblin be helping you? They're trying to help you overthrow Ganon so they can be freed. So the Moblins aren't really bad, or at least some of them aren't, I guess, in the storyline. But let's see how much money we got. Alright, $10. Not gonna make us rich, but it will help us get closer to buying a candle, that's for sure. Alright, so let's keep going. Work our way up. Alright, so these blue moblins are definitely tough. That's 3 hits. And they don't kid around here. So we're not gonna get the statue yet until we've defeated these. Oh, more bombs, okay. Rupee. Alright, well, we could have used that earlier, but whatever. Alright, so now I think there's something else here. Let's see. Yes, so another, it's a secret to everybody. Very good. Alright, so now we can buy the candle. So, you know what I'm saying? I think we're going to go back and buy that candle now, because we need it. Let's go back to the shop down here. Let's buy the candle, yeah. Alright, we'll sneak over here. There we go. Whoops, wrong one. It's the one below. Right, oops. Silly Ramsis. He's done it again. Alright. Is it in here? Yes. Alright. So let's go buy that candle. We need it. 60 bucks is fine. Alright, so now let me show you what options we have. We have the bombs, which I don't want to use right now. We have the candle. Alright, so we're going to buy the candle. I mean, use the candle eventually. And what does the candle do? It pretty much, exactly what you see on the screen now. There you go. We can make our own of that, but only once. See, I'm pushing the button. You can only do one at a time with the blue candle. One per screen for the blue candle. That's it. Alright. Alright, let's keep exploring. And we already defeated this screen, so we don't have to worry about anything here. These are Octoroks, by the way. There we go. Okay. Hey, we don't want these things. Whoa. We probably don't want to go up there either yet. We're not ready yet. Go up here. Yep. Alright, so let's see what's in this hole. Remember, I think it was the letter or the white sword. No, it was the letter in the original. Let's see what we get this time here. It's now another buy shop. Well, that's not going to help us at all, will it? Alright, let's get out of here. We need some health very badly. Alright. Keep going. We'll use the candle. That's I'm alright with that. But we need that heart. Yes. Alright, that's better. Get out of here. Alright, so now we got another screen. Let's go into here, see if we got anything. It's... Let's play a money-making game. Yeah, I don't do that, thank you. See what's up here, if anything. And in this screen we now have... Alright, that's important. We need the bait eventually, the blue ring. So now we know where the blue ring is located. That's very important. And we also need that bait for... Well, I'm not going to give it away. We will need that bait, though. So, yep, we have the bait and the blue ring here. Very, very good. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's come back. It's good to use the candle when you can. We'll do it again. Ah, we missed. Alright, that's alright. We got it anyway. Nothing there. Let's keep going. Oh, yes, we definitely need that. Alright, we're finally full energy again. Woohoo. Alright. Now, we can't push this yet. We don't have the bracelet, so forget it. Now, is there something under any of these statues? I don't think so, actually, right? I think these statues are just sort of... Well, let's find out. Well, let's get out of here. There we go. A secret is in the tree at the dead end. Alright, so it's tips now here. That's cool. So they give you a little bit of advice in some of these things now. So, yeah, can't complain too much about that. Let's see if we can work our way to getting some more money, and then we're going to end this, I think. I think we've shown you enough in this first episode, alright? Let's go down. Go. Alright, I'll definitely take that. Alright, we're full energy again. Sure, now we get lots of hearts that I don't need them. Okay, let's keep going. Get out of here. Woo! There we go. Get all the levers. Actually, I'm gonna try to kill these. I think if we can get some money here, that'd be nice. And the keyword was if, because as you can see, they're not paying anything. And unfortunately, that's another thing with Zelda. You never know when it's going to drop money. We got $5, so that's good. We did need that. Alright. Well, let's just get out of here. Alright. Our Tektites are our friends. Not so much right now. There we go. See if we can get a heart back from any of them. Nope, another rupee. Alright, let's see what's in here. Alright, another shop, so we can buy bombs or stuff there. We don't need that right now. Alright, we need the bracelet there. Let's get this. Good, we'll use the clock. Alright. So again, you need the bracelet to open this. We can't do that yet, so this is kind of worthless here. Go down. Alright, keep going down. Alright, very good. Nope, nothing here that I can think of. Right? I don't think this screen has anything, so nope, keep going. Alright. Oh, we got something here, though. Let's see. Alright, we don't want this door. That is a penalty door. So, no, we'll pass on that. Let's keep going. Alright, good. Right now, Octoroks and Tektites, that's really what you want to go for in the opening salvo here. When you only have 3 hearts to work with, you don't want to go against too many of the moblins that show up in huge groups and everything. You want to try to keep it to more manageable enemies, you know? Octoroks aren't too bad. Because they have to pause before they shoot, as you can see, right? And when you have the projectile sword, it makes it, whoops, it makes it a little bit nicer if you can hit them. There we go. Alright, let's see what's in this shop out of curiosity, alright? Alright, this is another woman with the letter, so, yeah, you can see everything is a little bit different in this version of the game, absolutely. Alright, let's just keep going. Alright, let's keep. Alright, we're back at the water side here, let's get some more money. Good. Is there anything here? No. Well, that was worth a try. Alright. See, is this where the ferry is? Yes, alright. We got the ferry at least, that's a good thing. Let's keep going. Whoa, alright, we're gonna heal up again, how about that? Oh, we'll beat everything first and then we'll heal again. I tell you, moblins are annoying. There we go. Wow. He's turning around. Oh, that's alright, we got back to full again, so I can't be too upset about that. Okay. I think there's more money if we go this way. Yeah, let's go this way. Look out for the moblins. And I believe right here, one of these trees should burn, right? Yes. Alright, there's more money. Good, we need it. Alright, not terrible. Not terrible. We'll take it. So remember, you only have your little shield and the big shield out when you're not firing. So remember that. When you're firing, the shield goes away. Remember that. Alright. Okay, we don't need anything here, remember? Okay, solo. We do need some more money, though. Okay. Take the 5. Alright, so we need $90. That is our goal, by the way. And then we're going to end the episode after we do what we need to do with the 90 bucks. Yes. Alright. Now, I don't think there's anything that we need to worry about there. There we go. Alright, let's see. Is there anything here, though? Yes, there is. Alright, so this one I think is what we needed, yeah. Very good. Alright, so now we are going to finish this because now we have enough money. We have 93, very good. So now I'm going to show you where we're going to take this 93 bucks. Let's go. We're going to burn this tree right here. Once Zora goes away, there we go. And we found, that's the shop we want. Not for that $100 bait. No, no, no. We want that $90 shield, yes. And that's it. We're going to leave it right there. That was our opening to Legend of Zelda Game Boy Advance OG original game, except re-released in 2004. But it's the same game, just stretched out, as you can very clearly see. So we're going to leave it there. Second quest, you can already see it's harder. The enemies are a little faster. It's a little more high-paced. You got to find where everything is. You got to build yourself up. It's a little harder. Yeah, you can already see that we're having a little bit of a challenge here. But so far, so good. We're off to a good start. Knock on wood. We did well here. And we are going to continue. Next time, it will be the first dungeon. So that was it. That was our opening. That was our introduction. Next time, we are tackling the first dungeon. I can guarantee it. We're going to beat it, and we're going to get another heart, get a piece of the Triforce, and show you where it is and how to do it and all that fun stuff. So you don't want to miss an exciting episode of Ramsis Longplays Legend of Zelda, the Game Boy Advance conversion of the original NES game. Second quest mode, that's right, here on Ramsis Retro Longplays. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell if you like what you see, have something to say. Check us out on our main channel, where we have the original first quest done on the NES, if you want to see that as well. Vespors Retro Reviews, Retro's alive and well, and not going anywhere anytime soon. I'll see you all next time, as we continue the second quest of The Legend of Zelda. We are going to do level 1 next time. You don't want to miss it. See you then. Goodbye, everybody!